Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon. I'm back with another Dean Koontz Odd Thomas book. And this is the fourth one in the series. It's called Odd Hours. And we're back in Pico Mundo, which is Small World. And this is our familiar territory. However, there's quite a lot at stake. And we really feel for Odd because it just seems that there was to be happiness in his life, and that happiness is just taken away from him. And we feel really bad for him, but we don't pity him because he's a character that can muster himself up for anything. And even though he does explain the fear that he feels in certain situations, and it makes him more relatable, I think, because a lot of protagonists are very self-assured and confident and have this clarity of vision, even if they don't know precisely the road that they're being set up on. And Odd knows to a certain extent what he's getting into, and it's a very perilous, dangerous path that he's well aware of. I can't really say much about book 4. This series has been just an utter delight. As I've said before about Mr. Koons' work, he is a real wordsmith. He really makes you empathize and understand what the character is feeling psychologically, and he uses a lot of true to form paranormal happenings, or what one could experience while in the realm of the supernatural. And having been exposed to the supernatural ever since I was little, I know this well. The idea of a room being much colder when spirit is in it is true. Feeling the presence. If you're an empath, then you can definitely feel presences, or you'll notice things, or you think, I don't want to say anything around anybody else, around typical people who don't have what I like to call vision. And people who are gifted with vision just notice. We are more awake than most. Saying we are more evolved spiritually, I think, is some kind of a superiority term, and I really don't want to use that because I don't want to make us look like we're more gifted than some. Yes, it's a gift, but it can be a burden as well, because I think we're open more to spiritual attacks, and people who don't understand us can get very violent and very vitriolic, and yeah. And Thomas here, he's a good example of a man who uses his abilities to help the dead move on, and I absolutely love that. I think that a true spiritualists will do this. A medium, they do their best in getting the departed soul that's wandering back on course. I don't know what else to report, honestly. Currently I have been watching Westworld, and I am into season 2. There's another season after that, and starting tomorrow there will be a new season of American Gods, and I'm really anticipating it because American Gods is one of my favorite television programs to date, as well as Westworld. And Westworld's actually going to help me write Divine Outlaw, and Divine Outlaw is a story about a sharpshooter. His name is Dalphon. Dalphon doesn't have a last name. Dalphon is an orphan. So telling a story from an orphan's point of view is going to be very intriguing, because he doesn't have any ties to anybody and he doesn't owe anybody anything, but he is this badass gentleman. He's a combination of the best of both worlds. He's unbelievable. And Dolphin, he's interesting because he's a demigod. And he undergoes this journey of discovery for identity, and he finds love. He finds love in the most unlikely of places. But it's going to be a lot of fun to write because I love the idea of giving him power whenever he's trying to control his anger. When the rage comes out, sometimes the electricity will spark out of him, and he has control over can't even talk. He has control of the weather. He has control of the elements, which would just be your weather elements. Sometimes, well, I think he could control vegetation as well, just given the fact that he can do quite a few things given his power. But it's mostly just weather elements his main ability is. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make him meet his dad or not, because it's going to figure into Greek mythology quite a bit, and I really don't want to do a Percy Jackson kind of thing, but it's going to be interesting, because he's unlike a character I've ever written before, and it's going to be steampunk, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Modern steampunk, but that's all I have to say. Till next time. Live on, prosper. Ciao, tutti.